and aflame with excitement. What a game, what a final, what a match.
It was a fantastic time to watch Scottish football. It was a fantastic time to watch Rangers because Rangers had an absolutely fantastic team that played exhilarating football.
The early 60s was a highly competitive time in Scottish football. If you look at the league championships, so Hearts had won it in 1960, Rangers had won it in 61 and 63, Dundee had won it in 62. There was multiple potential league champions getting into 63, 64.
And it wasn't like nowadays. There was a number of teams could actually win in terms of the title, but Scottish Cups as well. But at that point in time, my goodness, Rangers were one of the best teams like in Europe. Just definitely a great Rangers side.
Scott Simon was old school. He was always immaculately dressed with the treble, shirt and tie, and the instruction was quite clear. He gave the players before a match, get the ball to those that can play. So Messrs Shearer, by way of defenders, don't dally on the ball. Give it to guys that have got that ability to unpick opponents. And they did. And that was the basic instruction that served Rangers so well.
Scott Simon, his big challenge was not just the existing Scottish scene at the time. It was carrying on the tradition of Bill Struth. Bill Struth, a man who had won in his time at Ibrox 18 league championships, 10 Scottish Cups, 2 League Cups. Scott Simon had to carry that on.
It was exciting, especially for a young lad going along and seeing the famous Rangers side playing against Dundee in a cup final.
120,000 plus known ticket holders got into Hampden. There was probably many more in those days of give us a lift over, Jimmy, or climb the wall. So the absolute numbers inside Hampden probably aren't really known, but it's recorded as 120 plus, 120,000 plus.
Funnily enough, I've just been watching the video of that. Not all of the game, but part of the game. And looking at it on the video, I can understand now why about the fans have called it one of the best finals that they've ever seen, you know.
It's the peak, if you like, of that early 60s team. Winning a treble, winning the cup final in front of 120,000 people. Baxter and his pomp, Henderson coming through, John Gregg coming through. It was a great team, a great game, great opposition, a big crowd. It had everything.
It's certainly one of the great finals. We've had some fantastic cup finals over the years. 1894 and beat Celtic 3-1 to win the Scottish Cup for the first time. 1928 to win the Scottish Cup again against Celtic 4-0 after a 25-year hoodoo. There have been so many great cup finals over the years, but for me, it's the best one I've seen and the most dramatic. And perhaps a wee 8-year-old lad, I was maybe influenced by the emotion of it all, but I think even as people look back on it now, it was one of the greats, with some of the greatest players that played with the club.
Fantastic scenes of jubilation among the Rangers players and on the terracings. Rangers strike twice in 60 seconds, and it's all over.